fuck, it's day 2. Hello everybody, and welcome to day 2 of my daily NaNoWRIMO vlog thing. Today, I'm going to talk about my first NaNoWRIMO experience, which was back in 2010, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how I found out about NaNoWRIMO and the first book I attempted to write in NaNoWRIMO. I can't remember exactly when I learned about NaNoWRIMO. All I know is I took part in the 2010 NaNoWRIMO, so theoretically I learned about it between the previous year of 09 and 10. So somewhere between November 09 and November 10, somewhere in there I learned about it. But I do remember how I learned about it. I learned about it from a fellow YouTuber, one of the A-lists, because I'm probably on the Z list of, if you want to go by. Nobody knows who the fuck I am, really. Maybe like what, there's like 10 of you out there? 15? Something like that? I don't know. The YouTuber I learned about it from is Kristina. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name because I'm horrible with that. So I was watching her videos and she's very interesting and funny and I enjoy her. She talked about NaNoWRIMO and she wrote a song about NaNoWRIMO, a writer, so of course when I heard about it I had to look into it and decided to, like, what the hell, give it a shot. So the title of the book that I attempted for NaNoWRIMO, Vampire Lover Through the Eyes of a Mortal. Can't say I finished it because I didn't finish during NaNoWRIMO, and I still haven't finished it, and it's been for 5 years. It's actually one of my bigger writing projects that I've been working on. Like, I'm still working on it, but it's a large-scale project for me because it's the first book of what I intend to be a 3 to 5 book series. I'm going to read an excerpt from Vampire Lover Through the Eyes of a Mortal. I followed Adam to a small tower set back from the other buildings. The tower had only one row of small windows near the top and a large, thick wooden door. Adam knocked on the door 3 times. This is the last building. If you don't like the familiars in here, then I guess familiars aren't for you. The door slowly opened, and a tall, thin woman dressed in a long-sleeved shirt and pants that looked as if they were made of white fur, which perfectly matched her hair. "Welcome to the Tower of Night. How may I help you?" As she spoke, I realized her eyes were closed. "Hello, I'm Adam, and this is Alice. We have come to see if one of your familiars would be a match for her." He bowed his head ever so slightly. The woman smiled. "May I ask your line?" "Alice is a direct descendant, a direct matriarch, Van Moon. I'm her attending." I was actually getting used to my new last name and the strange status it brought with it. The woman looked as surprised as someone with their eyes closed could. She quickly bowed. "It is an honor, my lady." "There's no need for that." Adam gave me the slightest of dirty looks. "May I ask you your name?" The last thing I wanted was to get another lecture on proper behavior for one of my status. "Yes, my apologies. I am Betty Wing of the 5th. Do come in." She stepped back and motioned us inside. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Betty." I gave her the slightest bow of my head as I entered the tower. Betty closed the door behind us, and we were in complete darkness. She walked around us. "Please follow me." I was going to protest and tell her I could not see, but I felt Adam's hand on my back, guiding me forward. I knew he could already see, with no problem, and it was only a matter of time before my own night vision would kick in. Luckily it did so just as I reached the staircase. I saw Betty in her white was 10 or so steps ahead. I looked back at Adam and held up 2 fingers. He removed his hand. He removes his hand from my back with his usual smile on his face. I smiled back and made my way up the stairs. It took all my self-control to not jump and shout in joy over how quickly I was coming into my abilities. It was only yesterday that it took 4 minutes for my night vision to kick in, and now it had been cut down to 2. We entered the first door that we came to. There was no sign of a way out of this room other than the door we entered, and from floor to ceiling, the walls were covered in small holes, not much bigger than a person's fist. This is the nursery. In each one of these caves, you will find a newly weaned baby bat. As we go up in the tower, the bats get older. The older the bat, the more they can do, but the harder it is for them to bond with their new master. She turned and faced us for the first time since my eyes adjusted to the dark and revealed her almost glowing blue eyes. Wow, was all that I could manage, but my mind was racing. I wanted to ask her about her eyes. I wanted to jump and squeal over the fact that I could have my very own bat. I didn't do any of that. I just stood there with my mouth slightly open, dumbfounded. Betty smiled wide. Now let me see who I can find for you. She looked from hole to hole, the way a librarian looks for a book on a shelf. So basically, the story is about a young girl named Alice who finds out that she is actually a half-breed vampire and has been hidden away from other vampires to protect her, and now has to reintegrate into vampire society. I was working on Vampire Lover Through the Eyes of Mortal for my first book, and I greatly enjoyed it. It was a wonderful experience. I didn't get a lot done at the time, but I had fun doing it, and I liked the whole feeling like I was a part of something, of the whole NANOWRIMO experience. So that's it for day 2. Tune in for day 3. I will talk about the second book I did. Here's day 2 word count. Don't judge me, I'm sick. I'll see you when the sun sets and the stars come out. Bye babes, peace, and keep on writing. Every year I fail horribly.